loud. It's loud. We love the music. We dig the music. But, you know, presumably you might want to hear me a little bit. Like, if you didn't want to hear me even, like, a little bit, it would be an option to just listen to the music. I'm gonna wait for this beat drop so I know how, if I can just lower it even more once the beat drops. Because, oh my god, this shit's intense. This shit's wild. This shit's wild. I think it's good. I think it's decently good. It's loud. It's way louder than I was expecting it to be. Oh no. I know exactly what happened, but we can't change it now, so we're just gonna stick with what we got. Oh, there it is. That's fine. That's fine. I have two monitors, and each monitor has, like, one monitor has my earbuds connected, the other has actual speakers connected, and that's why the levels feel weird compared to what they usually are when I stream on my main channel talking about my book streams. Because if you haven't noticed, we are not on the main channel. We are on my vlog channel, chit-chatting about. Yeah, I just had stuff to chit-chat about. It's the first time in a hot minute, I feel, that I've had a very, like, almost exact TBR. And so I kind of wanted to go over that with you, as well as I've got some book stuff going on that you might be interested in. Do I have that downloaded so I can just put it on the screen? I also have a cat attacking my foot. He's like half asleep attacking my foot. It's super cute. He's just holding my foot right now, and it's very cute. But he's super tired. Oh, he's so tired. He is so tired, but he's gripping my foot. Oh, it's Nugget, by the way, my orange cat. My absolutely wildin' orange cat. I can probably throw those up on the screen. Let's do this, and then, because we can talk about, we have a couple, like, several different areas of my work that we're going to be chatting about today. We're going to start off by talking about the books that I write. Then we're going to go on to YouTube, this channel, and my main channel. I have a couple chit-chatty things to talk about over there, and then the longest section is going to be my reading, because oh my god, do I have so many books to read. So let's see if we can actually just throw up a window capture. And it's gonna be a photos. Okay. Microsoft Photos does not want to be window captured. No, that's not what we want. We want photos. Why don't you want to be window captured? Okay, fine. Then I guess we're gonna actually just remove yeah. And we'll just put the image itself up. We have two images with regards to this book. So if you haven't heard, I have a book. I've been referring to it as Autistic Cheerleader Romance. That book is currently a work in progress, but it's gotten to a much more, like, we're getting there kind of position. I'm gonna block this. This is just the thumbnail. It's gonna be there the whole time. This will not. But we did just announce the title of the book. It's called Imani and Aaliyah's Fashion Bible, and at present, I'm currently looking for beta readers for that book, and I can be a useful human, and I can put the link down below to the form if anyone wants to be a part of that and help me read the books and for you. You'd read the book and give me notes. There are a couple questions on the beta form about it, but you can do, but that'll be, I just added that to the description of the video. Let's make sure that it ended up there. Yeah, what? My ringtone is totally not copyrighted music. You don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, let's make sure that changed. Maybe not. It might show up for new people to the stream. But otherwise, if it's on my Twitter, you can find the link to it on my Twitter if that is where you might find me better. But yeah, that's a super exciting thing. And let me go ahead, for the sake of, you know, fully giving y'all all the recently released information about the book, because I also announced the description of the book, because that would be helpful in getting people to decide if they want to, you know, read the book, is the description. So let's switch that over to a different image. This is the description. And I will just read it off of my tablet to you. The description is absolutely up for, like, debate. We're ready. It's a work in progress. It feels long, but I don't know what else to do. I feel like I'm bad at descriptions. I need to work on it more. But the current description, as is now, is Imani Jones has it all figured out. Unfortunately, she can't picture things ending well for herself. How can you when you never seem to get the whole being a good human thing right? Hell, she can't even talk half the time and says all the wrong things when she does. Nobody notices her, nobody would miss her, so it's gotten harder and harder for her to find a reason to stick around. Aaliyah Thomas is down bad. Not just I've had a crush on you for years bad, but she had a long list of reasons to stay in town for college, and Imani Jones was high up on it. When Imani says she's going to quit their cheer team, fear and concern take her over, and Aaliyah stops thinking. She just kisses her. While the girls build their relationship, they mix Imani's love for photography and Aaliyah's love for fashion and Imani into a business on social media that helps them bond in ways they wouldn't have thought of. But when things they tried to ignore come back to bite them, they have to support each other if they want to make it through. Just realized there's nothing coming through my earbud. I'm dork. That's fine. So yeah, that is my novel formerly known as Autistic Cheerleader Romance. I gotta admit, I am a little sad that no one seems to be getting this joke that I've been making for months about this book. But it is what it is. Is there just no audio on this video anymore? ¿Dónde está mi audio? Why can you not? That's such a weird thing on this phone. Apparently. Hello, hello? Hello, hello, hello? Hello, hello, hello? Did I lose sound on this video? Hello? Because I'm showing that. No? Where's your problem? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Everything's working. Weird. It was just being super weird. Imani and Aaliyah's Fashion Bible. That book, very excited. Been working on that for at least a year, maybe longer at this point. And super, super excited for it to come out. That's going to be coming out this year. Other books that I am working on and should be coming out this year is book 5 of the Queen of Thieves series. I am going to start editing that in either like next week or the week after while I wait for beta notes to come back. So that's exciting, and I have a lot of plans for this book. It's probably not going to take nearly as long. Honestly, the Queen of Thieves books do not take nearly as long as this standalone has taken, partially because they're half as long. This book, as you saw on the other sheet, on the other slide, it's almost 60,000 words. The Queen of Thieves books are like 25,000. So that length definitely makes it easier to get through those, as well as I've been like mentally working through the kinks of the series and of these books for years. Like 2017 is when I started like he's stretching around my foot. But 2017 is literally when I started like working on this series, and I've been working through it and mentally getting through it and ironing out kinks since then. So we just had a lot more time to work through these books. So Queen of Thieves #5 should come out. There's another project that I'm working on that I hope will be out, like the goal, it should be out by the end of the year. So that's also exciting. Currently what I am drafting is I've been having this idea for this ridiculous dodgeball satire for a while now. Like there were like some hints of ideas way back in high school, but I started having like an actual idea for it a couple months ago, and I've not been able to stop thinking about it. So we are writing that, and I've been like busting out thousands of words at a time. I have been burning through writing this book. It's great. We love it. We're very excited for the Dodgeball Whip. Those are the books that I am writing, publishing, the kind. Moving on to YouTube, my main channel, we've got videos in the pipeline. Today I'm going to be putting out one of my archives. In case you don't know, there was a period of time where I was having an identity crisis and was putting my reading streams on this channel instead of the main channel, which we reversed that issue, but I'm working on getting the videos that I did record over here over onto that channel. So we're going to put another one of those up today. And then I have a video that I'm working on that is about if you've been in like the book sphere. There's this whole thing with particularly like white readers who will read a book with marginalized community or cultures and describe said book as super educational, and we're just talking about so many of the issues with that whole thing. Water break. If I can figure out how to open my water bowl. Okay. Vlog channel. This channel. I feel like I'd like to start doing more of these little chitty chats. That'd be nice. I also have only one more video up. I only have to put up one more video from our last moving series, and we'll be done with those. And then I'm going to go. I have several other vlogs that I've recorded, and I just need to make sure the footage is organized for and then put them out. So that's fun. Recording new vlogs currently. My LG Wing phone is currently my vlog camera because the camera that I use to record my main channel videos, the microphone in the camera sucks, but like typically microphones and cameras, like onboard microphones and cameras tend to. The microphone jack is broken, so I can't plug in a microphone to that, and the idea of having like just trying to vlog with like it's a big camera already, and then a second unattached microphone. It's a whole lot of stuff. And so we are not going to be, so we're using a phone as a vlog camera for right now. And it's probably going to be like that for a while because cameras are expensive, and the one I want is expensive, but it'd be great. I also do have kind of the reason, like it's a slight thing. I got a new microphone, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to do this vlog is to kind of test out this microphone. And so that's going to be this a new tool we're using on this channel. It'll be on the main channel when I do my book streams. It'll be on some other stuff. It'll be on my like main channel videos. It'll be around. It'll be around. So hopefully my fucking audio will start sounding great. Like then I have like 4 videos I've already like made that I've already recorded that we did not have this mic for. So it's too late for those. But moving forward. Moving forward in 3 months after I get those videos out. There we go. And now on to the longest part of this video, and that's going to be talking about my TBR, because I have a lot of books on my TBR. So what happened was I got a little carried away with ARCs and requesting ARCs. It started as like I was requesting ARCs on NetGalley, and like half of the time I was like, I'm not even gonna get it. So why wouldn't I just check it? Why wouldn't I just hit request? And I got a surprising number of those. And then some of them were gimmies, and then I do also have a decent number of indie ARCs. So we have most of these ARCs. These ARCs are all like going from now until, like, I'm going to be reading these from now until the end of July. August is, like, in my heart. I want that to be my dedicated read in Spanish month because that's my birthday month. And so it would just feel, it'd be special to me to read in Spanish that month. So if you've seen my stream on my 5-star book draft, El Príncipe del Sol, that's for sure something we're going to be reading during that month. I have some articles and stuff in Spanish that I also like want to read. I would have read some of those things randomly throughout the year, but we requested so many ARCs. I also requested a couple Spanish ARCs, but I requested 1 Spanish ARC and I didn't get it. I would have read that in August. Alas. So let's talk about what's going on. So the next couple of book streams that I'm going to be doing, the books that I've already finished, are Chaos by Sydney Damon. I read that book way earlier in the year, but it was like on and off trying to figure out if I wanted to stream it or not. We've decided we're going to stream it. Dusk by Bo Van Dalen. I read that for the Trans Rights Readathon. After that, we're going to do the quarter 1 wrap-up. And then we're going to get into it. The first ARC that I got was the Luis Ortega Survival Club. That book, a lot of these books I got, like, I found out about them when I came across whatever post of the author saying that they were looking for ARCs. And I was super excited. Lesbiana's Guide to Catholic School was a book that, like, I've been wanting to read. That sounds super interesting. And so I was super excited to read the Luis Ortega Survival Club. And oh my god, reading the description, and I knew this book was going to basically be if someone spied on my life and then put it on paper. But oh my god, was this book like if someone spied on my life and then put it on paper. It was brutal. It destroyed me. I cried a lot. I squealed quite a few times when reading this book. We've read that, and we'll be getting ready to do a stream for it after the other three if we're including the quarter 1 wrap up. Books that I need to read. First is Hilo the Water Monster. I had a break in between when I had scheduled a lot of these. Can I help you? Jesus. I had a break in between when I had scheduled a lot of these ARCs, and so I've been Hilo the Water Monster is another one of my 5-star book draft reads, and so I wanted to read that. I've started it. I'm going to be doing a blended read, so I'm going to read it as an ebook and as an audiobook. Very excited for it. I've started it, and I didn't realize it was going to be in New Mexico. That was traumatizing for me, but we're going to push through and get through the rest of this book. Next was actually I think this was the first ARC I got this year, was Something More by Jackie Kaleli. I think that's... And this is about an autistic girl in high school, maybe a prep school. It looked like they were wearing uniforms. And I've been having a great autistic. This is a great autistic book year. We've got Imani and Aaliyah because Imani is autistic cheerleader romance. You know, Louise Ortega Survival Club is also an autistic lead. I have another arc down here that has an autistic lead. What was the name? The People of Ostrich Mountain. Wambui. She was. The book didn't say, but I know. She was autistic. She had the tism. And like it's been a great autistic book year. It's going to continue to be a great autistic book year. Next is going to be what is this book called? We're gonna Things I'll Never Say, and this is about a girl whose brother passed away, and she's hanging out, like she, her brother, and two others used to all hang out as friends. Brother passed away, and she would usually like go to him for advice on romance, and she's now like feeling these romantic feelings about both of the best friends, and there's a whole bunch of stuff going on there, and it's a story written as letters to the brother, and you know, emotional breakdowns. This is going to be a great autistic book year, but it's also going to be a very thoroughly emotionally destructive year for me. Next we have The Chase Begins, and I might have to just read that one's like description off somewhere, because I'm not gonna lie, I forgot that I signed up for this arc. I got an email with the EPUB, and I was like, I mean, I'll read it. Like, it sounds kind of cool, but I have no idea what this is. Turns out I knew exactly what that was. I signed on I didn't sign on just for the book. I signed on for like a whole club to read all these books. I think another part of why I was super excited for it is I write a long novella series, and so like people sometimes like to like get grumpy about series and generals or sequels and stuff like that. So it can make me feel unwelcome as someone writing a long series of novellas, and so I really like to support other people when they're writing long series of novellas. So here's the description. A whimsical new adult fantasy set in a queer normative world filled with mysterious bloodlines, chaotic magic, and powerful instruments of divine favor, where a war with the dragons has the theocracy of Ism on the brink of desperation, and a devout follower of the scholar god is horrified to learn that their murderous ex has just escaped prison. Lark will happily throw themselves into danger for the sake of new knowledge and helping another, and now even has a friend determined to get them out of tricky situations alive. Nightingale's escape does not have them fearing for their own life, but for those of everyone else. However, catching Nightingale will be no easy beat, and Lark's heart remains far more complicated than it ought to be. So that's gonna be fun. Then another arc we got was for The Sun and the Void, which really excited to read some more Latin books, some more Latin. I don't remember if this is magical realism or fantasy. By Gabriela Romero La Cruz. Fantasy. Probably. Fantasy. I think fantasy. And it's also based on Latin folklore, which is also something I'm very excited for. Then this is the one that's going to be a little different. I got the arc for Night of the Living Queers. That one was a gimme. That one, I didn't realize it. When I went to hit request, it was like, okay, download the book now. And that, I like, another example of when I like squealed. I was very excited. So that one, because it is an anthology, I don't know, it wouldn't make sense to do a stream on it, but I want to do something cool for it. So I think I'm going to start reading it soon and vlog it. And that'll be something I put over here, and that'll be just we'll have a reading vlog, and that'll be cute. I also got Monstrous by Jessica Lewis, which is like, the story on this one is really funny. This is another one where I didn't really know or hear of the book until I saw that the author was looking for ARC readers, and so I was looking, and I like read the description and in like the Google forums of like what do you want to do? Why do you interested and stuff like that. One of the questions was why are you interested? And this book is an example of is a story of a queer girl who goes, I think, on a visit to visit her family in the South, and they are like kind of ignoring the fact that like weird things are going on, and there seems to be a monster that's coming after her as like a black queer girl in the South, and like I'm sitting here like, okay, they just want like a chill answer. They just want you to be normal for like 2 seconds. Just be like, oh my god, I love this art. The writing sounds cool. Stuff like that. I'm sitting here like, because there's a monster coming after her, and there's a monster eating, like, doing creepy things in the world. It's like, how does I want to see how this monster reflects the actual history of, like the horrors done to black people and queer people, black queers, and all of that, and how that like those identities relate to what the monster does and stuff like that. I think that she also becomes a monster. There's a whole lot of things, and I'm actually very excited to see the like actual to like sit down and like really analyze this book. I'm very excited. I also got The Dark Place by Brittany Lewis. We are trying between this and Night of the Living Queers. We are trying to get more into horror. We're trying not to be such a chicken, and wish us the best. Really, that's all I can say. Wish me the best. Then a couple more. I have two more indies, like self-published books that these don't have much of a date, so if I can fit them in between some of these other books that I already have scheduled, like in my schedule, in my tick, I have a calendar full of like, you need to start this book by this day. So if I like have space between those, then I'll fit these in, because they're both like 100 and some pages. Is A Tale of Hijinks and Honeydews. I'm very excited by this author. This was one where I had already pretty much set myself at a, like, this was, I think, was the last arc that I signed up for. And at this point I was already like, no more, you're on an arc ban. We can't do this anymore, because again, these are all squished in just until August, and I'm a slow reader and stressed. But I like read the description. I was so excited. So perhaps the only thing more annoying about than being visibly disabled in a town full of wannabe heroes was being a fruit stand owner in a market known for its chase sequences. After spending all 17 years of her life as a land-bound mermaid stuck in the most hero-infested town in the realm, Winnie unfortunately has plenty of experience with both. All Winnie wants is to save up enough money to one day move far away from Arvory and its Heroes Guild to open up a clothing shop somewhere a little calmer, so when the guild throws a competition to try and name a second official hero, she's distraught. But when the local hero's sidekick, an obscenely rich goblin with a shape-shifting left arm, enlists her help in tricking the rest of the guild into believing that they're a full shifter, she sees the opportunity for what it is, the perfect chance to exploit a rich asshole and maybe accidentally fall a little in love along the way. Like, this sounds so cute. It's supposed to be a cozy fantasy, and the main character is an ambulatory wheelchair user, which I'm super excited for, because I do also have a story with an ambulatory wheelchair user, and so I would love to see how others write that. I also want to hunt down writers that are ambulatory wheelchairs. I don't know if this author is, but I do know they like explicitly said they don't write a lot outside of their own experience. So we'll see. I'll double check that, as well as like looking for more ambulatory wheelchair users, looking for both writers as well as like communities where I can like see what they have to say about whatnot and engage with them and whatnot. But that was something I was super excited to see in a story. And like, again, because the whole thing sounds really super cute, and it's super short. Maybe it's not super short. Maybe it's 250 pages. I don't know why. Is it? Oh, mine shows up as like location on Kindle. Where's my lithium? Yeah, on lithium it shows up as like 160 pages. Like super super short. And even when I was looking at what the author, like when where the author was like, hey, this is like the description of the book, they were like, it's like a super super short book. So yeah, let's go with 100 and some pages. Moving on to the next arc that I managed to weasel myself into is Star Seer by Katia Hernandez. Another one. I guess I have to go to Goodreads. Good. I'm like hiding myself. Yeah, I don't really use Goodreads much. I almost exclusively use Storygraph. Okay, so Star Seer Katia Hernandez. A fate traced by the stars. 15-year-old Etar can see the future in the stars, a rare skill even among magicians. But while other star seers before him have become the stuff of legends, Etar has never predicted anything more exciting than the weather. Orphaned at age 5 and living under his uncle's disproven gaze, he yearns to prove his worth. Disaster strikes when, in defiance of his uncle's orders, Etar breaks into the Star-Seeing Dome, an ancient structure built to potentiate the powers of Starseers. Aided by the dome, the Starseers sent Atar a vision of ironclad warships destroying Scotland, the tiny island he calls home. Hunted by a bloodthirsty admiral who seeks to enslave his newly awakened powers, Atar will have to fight to protect his friends while grappling with his past, his out-of-control magic, and a budding friendship turning into something more. Another, like, that sounded like a really, really good story, and this author was like giving away a bunch of arcs and was saying like literally no pressure when you read it, which makes me feel good about life. So I absolutely will be getting to this book this year. Just don't know if it's gonna be anytime soon. Probably not. This one actually might not be short apparently. I don't know why all these apps are saying these books are super long when I thought they were shorter than that. And the last arc that I have is Place of Cool Waters. It is another book. Guess I'm gonna get a drink then. Place of Cool Waters is another book by the author that wrote The People of Ostrich Mountain. We're giving him another chance because I did really like that book, and I would love to read another book of his. I would love to get more of that storytelling. We can't have more of the is calling out racism, racist against white people stuff. Like, I still, that, like, the most unserious part of that book was the way Eileen was just like, do they think I stole their land? Ma'am, you came with the colonizers. Yes, you did. And unfortunately, another one of his books does kind of seem to lean very much focused exclusively on that type of thing. So we are going to try and cross our fingers and hope this one's okay. That's all we can do. If not, then we're gonna have to pull the plug on this author, which sucks because that was an amazing book. It would I wouldn't be surprised if that book made it into my top 10. But if that's gonna be a thing with this author, I don't think I could. I would not want to recommend their work, which sucks. So those are all of the arcs that I have. The only two other major things, two other books that I really, really, really want to read by the end of the year. I want to read book 5 of the Diana Flower series. I need to finish it. I need to close that chapter of my life, and we need to let go. So I want to finish that, and then I also want to read a book by Jessica Cade. She's a really big indie author who writes stories with black characters, which we adore. I own several of her books. Like, I think the book that I want to read this year of hers is going to be the first book in her Siren series, but I own that. I own one of her. Good Lord. I own The Tales of Novia, and I also own one of her adult solo books, No Love for the Wicked. So I own lots of options of hers, and I want to read at least one, but I'm particularly leaning towards the Siren book. But otherwise, yeah, that's where I am at with all of my things. I have plenty of work to do after we hit end stream, and I gotta get to it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, valedictions, friends.